Let there be light, and there was light. And this light was coming from the very first website that was developed by Tim Berners-Lee on August 6th, 1991. It actually was built already on December 20th, 1990. It took so long to be online. So today, this is faster. It's a matter of minutes, and your website is online. But this website here was about the World Wide Web project, and it was hosted on an NXT computer in CERN. And this is how all started. You can say that this website from Tim Berners-Lee was the Big Bang. And the web has expanded so incredibly fast to more than 1.7 billion sites running on almost 9 million web-facing servers around the globe. And I brought you some animation about the expansion of the web. Look at this. The yellow bars represent the amount of websites that existed at any year. And you see the web is expanding like the universe. And it's even accelerating. Look at, in a second, this jump here. And the web is still exploding, still increasing, expanding. Isn't that crazy? And what a cool thing that we all here are in this business. And all this light that we see when we look through our telescopes called Google is powered by thousands of cloud service providers, or shall we maybe say star service providers. So let's have a look from our observatory here at WebPros Summit in Atlanta, where the largest stars in the universe are. And to understand how many websites exist in the world and are hosted on how many servers by each cloud service provider, we need to scan the whole web. Like astronomers scanning the sky with their telescopes in their observatories, the challenge is that there are 2.8 billion IPv4 addresses that are routed in the entire internet, which leads to 56 million HTTP hosts that need to be scanned. But only 8.9 million web-facing servers, or unique web-facing servers, hosting a total of 1.7 billion sites, but only on 239 million domain names. And there are tons of research companies out there, but they either scan only the top 1 million or the top 10 million, or they ignore duplicates and domain aliases. And honestly, we want to have far more evidence and break down all the website and technology data into each hosting company of this hosting galaxy. So we at Plesk, we continuously scan the whole web. And thanks to our other brand, Xovi.com, who are the market leaders in the SEO industries, they are the experts that know exactly which domains are ranked by which search engine, and this over years. So we had already very deep insights into all the websites worldwide and which technology they use, how they are ranked, and all that stuff. So we know this information from Google, from Bing, Baidu, Yahoo, and all the other search engines. And if a website is not ranked by Google, then come on, we don't care anyway. Now let's get into numbers. Those 239 million domains, from those only 88 million are actually ranked by Google. The rest are, domains purchased but not resolving to a website. So let's have a look at some fresh data points. And I would like to welcome you to our private observatory here in Atlanta. We're lucky today. We see a few stars if we look up to the ceiling. There are no clouds blocking our view. And I would like to show you the real size of those stars, and we begin with setting the scale. Our sun, bright and shiny, as you can see, with a diameter of more than 860,000 miles. Our sun is the baseline for the following comparison between stars in the universe measured by their diameter and the size of cloud service providers measured by number of web-facing servers. And our beautiful sun relates to the cloud service provider Hostway in our example. Now, in the star constellation of the Lion, we find the next bigger star, a blue star called Regulus. And this huge star is around 3 times bigger than our known sun. And not only because of the blue color, but also because of the size we assign it to the Swiss ISP Swisscom and continue to search for bigger stars. And as we can see, the next blue giant called Spica is 220 light years away with a diameter of around 6.4 million miles, bringing us to the point to compare it with a German-based hoster group, United Internet, where brands like 1&1 Ionas and Stratos belong to. As the 16th brightest star, it can be found in the star constellation Vigo. But there's an even bigger star in this constellation, the Arcturus, which diameter is 25 times the diameter of our sun. And as colors and hostess match so great together, we add the German leader for dedicated and virtual servers, Hetzner, to this comparison as the 6th largest hoster in the world by number of servers. But we want to reach number 1, so let's continue. The next one is one of the most famous stars, useful to the sailors since centuries and known to the Giles due to its appearance in the Little Bear, Polaris, or the polar star, shining bright in the sky of the northern hemisphere and featuring a diameter of our sun times 50. And such an amazing size brings us to the top 4 of the hoster ranking OVH. Time for the top 3. For our next comparison, we are to use the star Alphard. And this huge star, an ocean of energy we assign to DigitalOcean reflecting more than 550,000 servers. And we only reach the 3rd place in this comparison, so let's go deeper. Our telescope brings us to the 2nd largest star in our comparison, the blue giant Rigel representing hyperscaler Alibaba, with a diameter of more than 90 times bigger than our sun. Well, let's go with the number 1. And can you still see our sun that we set as baseline on our scale? It's just 1 pixel. See how tiny it got. Nearly invisible for our eyes. Not sure if you can still see it. But I promised you number 1, and here we go. AWS. Whoa. What's that? That shouldn't be here. That's better, right? Let me introduce you to Daynab, a blue star 180 times the size of our sun in the constellation of the Swan, a real giant in the universe, and related to the server champion in the clouds. And all these stars are made of the simplest things put together, and they form huge and complex constructions, like us and our planet Earth. For example, they consist of hydrogen and helium. And the most simple elements, these are the most simple elements that we know in our periodic system. And based on these elements, you can form more complex elements like carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, or iron. Now back to our business. Let's take the simplest things we can all offer to our customers. A database, a web server, some code like PHP or JavaScript, add some HTML, combine all those simple things to a more complex element to build websites. And we get a beautiful yet complex system like WordPress. And WordPress is meanwhile the fuel of more than 34%, or 34.5% of all websites worldwide and growing. And we keep talking about it because of importance and growth potential. So for those of you here that don't yet offer specialized plans for WordPress, have a look at this graph here. WordPress is a must-have for hosters and cloud service providers, and the usage of WordPress for building websites is still continuously growing. And WordPress is by far the most popular way of creating websites, and by the way, also e-shops with WooCommerce. At Plesk, we love numbers and measure everything, and we wanted to understand who actually hosts most WordPress sites in our galaxy. And you can clearly see this number comes all from our web scan. You can clearly see that the GoDaddy group hosts most of all WordPress sites with a real domain name ranked by Google. Subdomains are not included here, neither are WordPress sites in subfolders like /blog or so. And that's maybe a bit unfair for Automatic, who actually already scores second. And that's a change that just happened over the last 12 months, by the way. Because Automatic is actually hosting a lot of WordPress sites on subdomains like janloeffler.wordpress.com, and those are not included in this chart. So they come on top. Like all other WordPress sites that are running on subdomains like blog.mydomain.com. But there's something you cannot see here. Plesk is actually powering the second largest amount of WordPress sites worldwide and quickly growing. And there's something I'm super excited about that I want to show you, what we also can do with our web crawler, because we see exactly how many domains and which domains have switched their hoster and have been moved to some other hoster. And I call this the bird's view, like biologists that watch birds going south and coming back again. So we can exactly make statistics about from where to where are domains moving, and we can group this by their CMS or their web server or whatever we want. Of course, we didn't include any movements happening by acquisitions. That would be unfair. So we excluded all of that, and we tracked this since a few years. And what can you see here? That SiteGround, DigitalOcean, Automatic, Google, and Hetzner have won most WordPress sites from other hosters. So it's a clear trend that we see here. But you might ask now, if those are also the most popular in terms of WordPress hosting, having the best servers and generating the highest ARPU? Well, if you ask WordPress professionals and web agencies around the globe, you definitely get a different picture. Those are the hosting companies that are mentioned the most as the best and most popular for WordPress. And that's quite confusing, isn't it? We were actually confused as well, to be honest, and most of them are growing fast and have high NPS rates. So why is that? What's the difference compared to the other players, and what makes them stand out of the crowd? To understand what a good WordPress offering is, we first need to understand the workflows and the pain points and the needs of WordPress users. And we are specifically interested in those who work with WordPress on a daily basis. Installing WordPress sites, that's a piece of cake. So if you have a WordPress one-click installer as your WordPress offer, then you don't get anywhere. This is not what the users need and want. To keep a WordPress site up and running, well-maintained and performant, that's the challenge. And let's have a look at what those users say. Web professionals are those people whose business it is to develop professional websites and who want to earn money with it. And this target audience is very interesting, since while earning money, they're willing to pay a premium for more value that saves their precious time. And because for web agencies, it's not the cheapest price that counts. It's all about throughput and how many customers they can make happy. What do those web professionals actually really need? They need security, reliability, convenience, and performance, not only from WordPress, but especially from you as hosters. We have done a lot of interviews with web professionals and agencies around the globe to understand exactly their needs. So if you need details, then just ask me afterwards. But to judge who actually does best in WordPress, we need to test with a neutral jury. And I'm absolutely thrilled to present you the final results from World's Next Top Hoster, the WordPress edition. We worked together with a market research company, Cloud Spectator, who deeply reviewed and tested 17 hosting companies, all claiming to have a great managed WordPress product to show everybody what a real managed WordPress offering is. And the candidates are companies like Kinsta, WP Engine, GoDaddy, A2 Hosting, and Pantheon. And Cloud Spectator took 17 companies from all 3 regions that offer managed and unmanaged WordPress in the price range of $50 to $150. Presenting the full results would probably take an hour alone, especially if we go into details of performance and stress test analytics, where the team continuously measures not only response times, but also how many concurrent requests per second a site can easily handle, and how fast this works. But also, they've called the support of each of those 17 hosters and confronted them with specific questions about WordPress. So are you interested in those results? Here are the top performers from 2019, awarded by Cloud Spectator. WP Engine is awarded in 6 out of 9 categories, followed by Kinsta with 5 awards, and GoDaddy, ZNet Live, and German HostPress with 4 awards each. The WordPress offering of one-on-one Ionos, for example, as part of United Internet, only achieved to be awarded in 2 categories, so it's not listed here on the right side. But if we would run the benchmark again today for the new WordPress Pro, then it would result in a completely different picture. So do you all want to see how the new WordPress Pro based on the Plesk WordPress Toolkit scores? The new WordPress Pro product scores additionally in the following 5 categories: security features, staging and cloning, backup and restore, performance features, and developer friendliness. And this means WordPress Pro targeting agencies and WordPress professionals, which was actually developed by one-on-one Ionos and Plesk together, wins 7 out of 9 categories. And you all can do the same. Together, as partners, we can easily win market share and increase your ARPU. But now back to the main question. Who actually won World's Next Top Hoster? So what are the final results? Let's find out. As you can see, SiteGround and WP Engine are leading, followed by the German WordPress expert HostPress, which also runs on Plesk WordPress Toolkit. To be fair, we also added value per dollar spent analysis, and then we see that actually the traditional hosting companies score better in terms of price value, since they offer their products much, much cheaper at lower prices. However, the other hosters grow really nicely, have high NPS rates, happy customers, so why not increase the ARPU and earn a bit more? And if you haven't already looked at it, then just scan this QR code or follow the link to the white paper with all the benchmark details, the performance analytics, and all the insights from the WordPress market. So here, let's make it bigger if you still need to scan it. All right, some people still have the smartphones. If you want to share it, feel free, do so, it's publicly available. Let's wait until the smartphones go down. All right. Yeah, but what differentiates those top players from the rest? What makes them stand out of the crowd? That's an amazing support specialized on WordPress, where you get serious advice if you plan a new campaign and need to tune your site. So just imagine you want to sell whatever special chocolate cakes for Christmas, and you plan this campaign. You ask your hoster, how can I make my site really perform and be able to handle, let's say, 2,000 requests per second? So what do I need to do, and how do I make it load in less than 3 seconds? A good WordPress hoster is able to answer that and even help the customer to find the bottlenecks in the WordPress system. But also, they're usually very active in the WordPress community and either contribute code or sponsor WordCamps. And the foundation is, however, a clear focus on WordPress with an optimized infrastructure. And this, of course, allows them to charge more for their additional value than other hosters. Also have a look at the recent acquisitions here in the WordPress market. Smaller specialized hosters and tools get acquired by bigger ones, and the battle continues. And the most prominent one is maybe GoDaddy, who's quite big in the M&A business and in the WordPress space, by buying, for example, Managed WP, WP Curve, Sucuri, ThemeBeans, and many more. But that's not all. Not everybody wants to solve their WordPress problems on their own. And there are tons of services cooperating with each other to deliver the best-in-class WordPress product to their customers. As an example, AWS now started promoting GoDaddy Pro sites, which was earlier Managed WP, as they faced a lot of hacked servers. How? AWS, DigitalOcean, and Google, they all told us the same story. Their network engineers see lots of malicious traffic because of hacked WordPress sites. And this is getting worse. With the popularity of WordPress on the one side, that's like the success of Windows in the operating system space, this becomes a huge attack surface. And since you have to patch those WordPress sites every time, and users are often lazy and don't do that, or even don't know that because they're not educated for that, and the hoster doesn't care and says, like, it's a responsibility of my customer. This is how the issue arises. And then you have a lot of hacked sites, a lot of malware, a lot of backdoors, a lot of DDoS attacks, a lot of spam, and we know this problem. And so those hyperscalers, they have especially this problem. And this happens because many users and many users use services like Bitnami and Co. So where you only get, like if you use DigitalOcean or AWS, you only get a standard WordPress installation from WordPress.org on a Linux machine, and that's it. Not secured, not hardened, and nothing takes care of the site maintenance. And this is how they get hacked then a few weeks later. And the WordPress users, they spin that up easily because it's a matter of seconds, but they have no clue how to keep the site up and running. They don't even know that they need to do that. And Amazon solved one of the biggest pain points they had with this cooperation, plus generating additional revenues. So nice catch. And according to the latest research from Sucuri, 90% of all hacked CMS sites in 2018 were WordPress, which is of course no wonder because of the market share. But 44% of all hacked CMS sites have been hacked because of an outdated core version. And I'm not talking about plugins and themes here. We're counting almost 60,000 WordPress plugins out there, and guess how many of those have vulnerabilities and are easy to hack. So how easy, come on, how easy can it be to protect those 44% of hacked sites by just keeping them updated? But here comes the tricky point. Most agencies we asked are afraid of updating the websites of their clients. And if they do it much too late. This has two reasons. The first reason is that a lot of web agencies are paid by project. So they make the changes, therefore they write an invoice, and then they're out of the game again. So the customer doesn't take care of the updates, and the agency doesn't take care. The second problem is, if they do the updates and something goes wrong, then it's their responsibility. They have a pissed client and don't get the money, because the client doesn't pay additionally now for the broken site. So they need solutions to test those updates and make them safe and reliable. So what's a perfect WordPress product now? Knowing that this is what the website owners need today. It's not about which data center or hardware sizing to offer, but it's about speaking the language of the customer, and it's about the value that they get from you as their hoster. And you need to communicate how they can actually succeed and get their job done with your product. WordPress users appreciate the extra value that saves their precious time, and therefore they are willing to spend a premium if this is done right. For example, you have to tell them how you keep them safe. Tell them how you can, or they can test their sites and how to manage the changes, how flexible they are, how fast they can create new sites or import existing sites, how they can integrate their favorite tools. And for developers, even how to build up a completely automated build pipeline with automatic testing. Tell them how many concurrent visitors your site will be able to handle approximately. So now you've gained insights into the needs of web professionals and what differentiates a great WordPress hoster from the rest. But what has this to do with Plesk? Users don't care about control panels. Users care about a seamless WordPress experience, and Plesk exactly delivers the whole solution, including technology stack for you to become a great WordPress hoster. And as you have seen, some of the world's best and most popular WordPress hosters use and trust already Plesk and its WordPress Toolkit. They easily integrated the WordPress Toolkit into their offering and communicate their value. And the WordPress Toolkit, as you can see here, fulfills all the needs mentioned before. It comes with security features from kernel level up to the application level, provides multiple backup solutions, staging and maintenance, support for performance tuning and caching, and most importantly, the tools to make your customers successful and happy. And one of the most exciting features is Smart Updates, which exactly was designed to solve the biggest problem in the whole WordPress community. And this is, Smart Updates takes care of all your updates without ever breaking the site of your customer. And this is thanks to a deep learning-based visual testing engine that dynamically creates test environments whenever there's an update available for your WordPress core plugin or theme on any of the WordPress instances on your server. And on this test environment, there even all the passwords and credentials are replaced, so it's completely secured. And what it does is it runs a series of checks PHP log, checks HTTP body, the headers, runs screenshots of all the sites, the whole sitemap through, and then runs a visual regression test, which tests the site before and after. And if everything is fine, it pushes the site to production. Nothing happened. You're always up to date. You don't have to worry. And nothing, we won't have any issue. But if there will be an issue because of a maybe plugin that is not compatible anymore with the latest security core, WordPress core, then the site owner gets an email telling him that there's something wrong with this specific plugin and that you should have a look. And you can see exactly what it does with your site before and after. And starting from that, you can make the choice. You as the user, you're always in full control, not the machine. You can turn on Smart Updates in an automatic mode, and it always keeps you up to date and informs you if there's an issue. Or you go for the interactive mode, and you see exactly what's happening on which page of your website, and why is that. And this helps you to reduce all operations burden to zero. As another example, I brought you our own numbers of WordPress sites being managed by WordPress Toolkit today, which almost doubled in the last 18 months. So how many of you don't use Plesk yet? Hands up. There are a few, and it's good that you're here in this talk. And who of you would like to offer service plans for WordPress? Already, some hands up. Good. So last year, we've been to 30 WordPress events around the globe. And we often heard the question, wow, WordPress Toolkit is amazing. But what is if my hoster doesn't offer Plesk? So if there is no WordPress Toolkit, how can I use that? And of course, the best solution would be that you all offer a WordPress solution based on Plesk. That would be probably the best approach, but I'm not naive. Yeah? I know that's maybe unrealistic, and we don't easily give up. And we want to make sure that everybody should be able to manage their WordPress sites with the WordPress Toolkit. And so today, I'm super thrilled to introduce you to remote management of WordPress Toolkit. Our target is nothing less than enabling users of all hosters worldwide to manage their sites independently of their actual hosting infrastructure. And this is a true game changer. And it allows all of you to offer services like GoDaddy's Managed WP or GoDaddy's Pro Sites. And here it is. WordPress Remote Management enables everyone to manage their sites remotely. So you can join our beta program and help us to deliver the best WordPress management tool for you in the end and your customers. And as you can see on the screen here, we manage 3 different sites from our brands, Plesk.com, Solos.io, and Xovi.com. They're all running on different dedicated machines, but they're all managed from one single interface. And whenever there's a new update available, I can trigger the update for all of those sites from one single interface with using, in the end, and cloning and staging, and make sure that the sites are updated correctly and just work. Or if there are security issues, I see it on this dashboard. So you don't even need Plesk to run those remote instances. However, only Plesk brings you the full experience. And what about Cpanel? So who of you runs on Cpanel? Also a bunch of hands up. So the question is, will there be a WordPress Toolkit for Cpanel? Yes! Our team is heavily working on it. Thank you. And we're building at the moment a WordPress Toolkit for Cpanel. It brings the same experience, the same functionality, but natively on Cpanel servers. And now we don't have Andy here in the room. At least I don't see him. He's at the booth. He's at the booth? OK. But I definitely would like to introduce you to Andy Kugajewski. He's the product owner of our WordPress products. And Andy is giving a talk tomorrow about the past, the present, and the future of WordPress hosting. So if you're interested in WordPress Toolkit and WordPress hosting, make sure you make it to Andy's talk tomorrow at 1 p.m. Or meet him later at the booth or lounge or whatever we call it. By the way, are you sure that all your WordPress sites hosted on your servers are also properly secured and still, or do they still use outdated versions? Use malicious plugins or themes, or have vulnerabilities or expose too much information?
No, we are pretty agile.
Here's Andy. That's the guy to talk to about WordPress. The WordPress daddy, like I just learned. Not GoDaddy, WordPress daddy. All right. So if you're not sure about your infrastructure and the WordPress sites that you host, whether it's for you yourself or your customers, have a look at this one. You definitely should monitor that. And if you don't have a WordPress-specific vulnerability scanning yet, we offer you our new WP Check. And that's a free WordPress security scanner tool to analyze the security status of all WordPress instances running on a server just from a command line call. It's available for Linux. Where's the link? Here you go. There's another easier link. It's github.com/plesk/WP Check. You can just go there. You just paste this one line and then run WP Check. You can run it as often as you want. It scans all the WordPress sites on your server and will show you exactly in the standard out what issues you have or the sites have, which have vulnerabilities and so on. So this is the best way to find out if there's a new exploit that was discovered for some of the plugins that are used by some of your WordPress sites. And if you want to automate that, there's --JSON, and you get this as JSON output, and you can use it in your system. So, and here's the URL again. No, it runs everywhere, just need a Linux. It doesn't run on Windows yet because We did for Linux. Yeah, run it everywhere. Can be Plesk, can be homegrown, can be just running in a Docker container, can be Cpanel, it doesn't matter. It scans locally the file system, and you can even like add a parameter to say like, I want to scan this folder and find the instances there. It just tells you in the end. All right. Now I could talk for hours about WordPress, but actually the topic of this talk is Hosting 2020, your innovation platform in the cloud. And I would love to give you some deep insights about how developers work, what workflows they have, and what tools and frameworks they need. But I wouldn't have enough time here, and since I answered some questions, I have to hurry up. But there's something I'm absolutely thrilled to announce that to you. And this is tomorrow morning, Eastern time. So tomorrow morning here in Atlanta, we are launching the next milestone of the company's history. Plesk Obsidian is the next major release of Plesk, and it's the best we've ever done. It's the most secure, the fastest, the most convenient, the smartest, and the most feature-rich Plesk release we've ever done. And by the way, it also has the highest Net Promoter Score already. So let's have a look at the new UI. Plesk Obsidian was inspired by the overwhelming positive feedback from users of WordPress Toolkit. And they asked us, like, can you make the WordPress Toolkit like the main thing in Plesk and take over the same user experience? And yes, we can. And we completely improved the user experience and continuously do that based on real user workflows to make it easy as pie to build, run, and secure apps, websites, and online businesses. And if you prefer the old view, no problem, you can switch back. But this is the new dynamic view, and it's absolutely awesome, so you have to try it out. And there are tons of highlights of Plesk Obsidian that I could mention, but probably I'm kicked off from stage soon, so let's keep it short. We've put extra love into the product based on your feedback and of that one from thousands of Plesk admins. We modernized the whole web stack according to global trends and continue to turn Plesk into a self-driving server that keeps customers happy and safe. So it's a bit like if you drive a Tesla Model S. So Plesk Obsidian will eventually do everything for you in terms of security, but if you don't want that, you switch it off and you're in manual mode, no problem. But every Plesk Obsidian server comes automatically secured by default with firewall, IP banning, everything configured. Every website will have SSL, including SEO-friendly HTTPS redirects. And additionally, all news, we had that already, the web project lifecycle takes care of supporting the whole user throughout the journey. For example, with a new notification center, including push notifications that you can receive on Plesk Mobile on your iOS or Android device. Yeah, and what else do we bring? PHP Composer support, Mongo database, restriction for server-side operations to make it easier for resellers, for example. And we have a lot of stuff put in there here. SNI for mail services was super relevant to hosting companies. Email auto-discovery, a highly demanded feature that is now out of the box in Plesk available. Advanced monitoring, but I'm coming to that in a second. So there's a lot of stuff that make this Plesk the best ever. And for those of you that are new to Plesk and haven't used it yet, Plesk has an integrated advisor that takes the user by the hand and guides him through his whole journey and shows always the next best step. For example, to secure the server, once this is done, secure the site, get better search engine rankings, or improved website's performance. And the advisor gets better with every release, and it helps, for example, to update PHP versions, do backups, find malware, and all of that stuff. And you told us, we listened. Advanced monitoring was one of the most requested features for Plesk, and I'm super happy to announce that you have now deep insights into what's happening on your Plesk server. And even better, we also have a Grafana extension ready for you where you can customize your personal hosting dashboards and monitor even more and integrate it in your existing infrastructure. And did I already mention PHP Composer to easily manage and deploy PHP apps? And of course, the support for Mongo database, which is also highly requested. And for all the other apps that are not deeply integrated in Plesk yet, just use the updated Docker catalog and deploy any app from Docker Hub with one click. Vincent van Gogh, he said, great things are done by a series of small things brought together. And that's why we continuously deliver new extensions every single month so that you can easily provide the tools and features for any use case. And yes, you can make money too, and you should. The Plesk extension catalog is the toolbox to meet your customer needs and resolve their issues quickly. The availability of Plesk extensions also helps you to retain existing customers beyond the first year or service renewal. Simply integrate your top picks in your own storefront and sell extensions as an add-on, or join the Premier League of Web Hosting 2.0 and create a hard bundle. Either way, your customers will benefit from having all the tools that they need at their fingertips. And you tune generic infrastructure into real, proven solutions targeting the needs of your customers. But here you might ask, why is Plesk so heavily focusing on extensions? Extensions, besides just offering features and value, also help us to keep the core lean and robust, just like the Linux kernel. And this allows us to open source a lot of solutions and allow customizations. So check out github.com/plesk for all the solutions there. How you can hook into the advisor, for example, and show own stuff, own recommendations. And we release much faster with less effort at far better quality and upgrade safety. And as a result, you get more value inside Plesk just easily through extensions. And you can choose exactly what you want to have in your platform and what not. And this is definitely not to annoy or bypass you with upselling. The opposite is the case. This approach allows us to provide you the additional revenue opportunities and to tune your infrastructure into products that your customers want and need, like a managed WordPress product, for example, as we have just seen before. I would like to quickly introduce you to our latest extensions. We completely reworked Plesk Premium Email together with our friends from Colab. These are the guys behind Roundcube. So while providing a much better user experience and more stability and many more features, we massively dropped the prices and offered better suiting plans based on your feedback. And so make sure to check it out. And here we have Jürgen Leber. He's the product owner of Premium Email. And he's happy to talk with you about how to use Premium Email, how to offer it to your customers, what is the benefits instead of using just Roundcube itself or any other solution. So make sure you talk to him. And since a lot of users ask us actually for Nextcloud, which is a great cloud storage and collaboration solution, we decided to develop a Nextcloud Toolkit. It's available for free in the extension catalog in the new beta section, where we publish new ideas and ask for feedback while developing it. So check it out. It's fully production ready already, despite being in the beta section. And if your heart beats for Joomla, which is the second most used CMS worldwide, then take the Joomla toolkit. Up to you. So Plesk Obsidian is the perfect innovation platform for your business. But does anybody know why we have Elvis Pleski as our mascot? Because Plesk needs all 8 hands to offer the best-in-class solutions on this platform. And we haven't even talked about Node.js and Ruby or just the site builder yet. And before you think about waiting another year before upgrading, don't. If you're not yet on Plesk Onyx 17.8, then upgrade now. And the best is if you upgrade tomorrow directly to Plesk Obsidian. Earlier, we learned why it's super important to keep WordPress updated, but why they help Plesk. Yeah, simply because it's the best release in the company's history, but it has also the highest NPS rates, which is important because happy customers don't churn, and they recommend you even further. It's the fastest growing, it has the lowest support volume, it has the best security. But even more important, without upgrading, your customers won't get WordPress Toolkit. They won't get the advisor and the latest extensions and the highest security. But there's one more thing. How many of you sell also VPS products? A bunch of hands here. And who would say that you can easily keep up with DigitalOcean? Nobody? I have something exciting for you. We set ourselves the target to simplify virtual infrastructure management for service providers and organizations and enable them to directly compete against DigitalOcean and Co. and increase their market share in the VPS market by offering a self-service control solution. Solus.io brings two interfaces, one for service providers to define the products and one for users to consume those products with pay-as-you-go. It's completely up to you what you want to offer. So you can offer a pure VPS-based product like DigitalOcean. Same thing, an hour of configuration, take a bunch of hardware, use Solus.io, and you are good to go as a VPS hoster. But you can also offer solutions like a managed WordPress or a business and collaboration server or stuff like this. And the whole UI can be completely adjusted to your needs. And this allows you to make targeted solutions, especially to SMBs. And everything is configurable and can be automated via a REST API. And the best is Plesk, Cpanel, and WordPress Toolkit standalone are already seamlessly integrated. And I missed to say WHMCS will also be part of that, of course. And now, if you want to learn more, then please join my colleagues, Jürgen Leber, sitting here for detailed information about Solus.io tomorrow at 1 p.m. No, 11 p.m. a.m., sorry, confused. Yeah, tomorrow at 11 a.m. for Solus.io. Ask Jürgen. For Andy, gone already, again at the booth, to learn more about WordPress Toolkit and the whole history of WordPress hosting. And if you're interested more into deep information about Plesk Obsidian, then ask my colleague Sergei Listsev sitting over there. Because if you're not using the latest and greatest Plesk, this is like ignoring the current market trends and innovation, and you probably won't you will get stuck in digital Stone Age in the end. And so you probably won't qualify for world's next top hoster. But hey, no worries. The sooner you fall behind, the more time you have to catch up. And in order to apply for world's next top hoster, make sure to take away at least the following 3 statements. First, a great WordPress product increases your ARPU, but needs to be done right and advertised properly, speaking the customer's language. Second, Plesk is your trusted partner for all the products you want to sell. And third, Plesk Obsidian is a true milestone of hosting platforms and allows you and your customers to innovate. And if you want to learn more or get some secrets even from behind the scenes or chat about future trends, come and visit us outside at the lounge or grab me after the talk. And I'm happy to discuss with you your personalized go-to-market plans and how we can support you. And next time, when you watch the stars, when it's dark, then remember how Elvis Pleski will help you to make your star shine brighter than the others. The mission of Plesk is to simplify the lives of web professionals. And let me close this talk with a quote from Tim Berners-Lee. The web, as I envisioned it, we have not seen it yet. The future is still so much bigger than the past, and the web is still expanding.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Now you have a moment for some questions, I guess? Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask Jan? I've got one off the top of my head. So Obsidian's coming out tomorrow, and did you say that it's even if you're not running Onyx, it's a direct upgrade straight to Obsidian?
Of course.
Nice.
One click and you're from Onyx to Obsidian. Perfect. That's how it should be.
Nice. Does anybody else have any questions for Jan?
All right. Then thanks a lot. Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the show.